Revolutions.
Revolutions.
Revolution, a radical or pervasive change in society or the social structure.
Mesopotamia was one of the oldest known civilizations in history, dating back to nearly 10,000 BCE. Dubbed the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia was situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and provided fertile land for the previously hunter-gatherer people to settle and focus on agriculture. This was revolutionary in that it allowed for the division of labor as well as a flourishing trade system. Also during this time period came the introduction of domesticated animals, a system of writing, the tire and wheel, as well as many other inventions.
Ancient India was divided into 4 distinct social classes, known as castes. The priests, called Brahmins, were at the top. Then there were Kshatriyas, who were the warriors, the Vaishyas, the merchants, and the Shudras, the peasants and laborers. There was also a caste of untouchables, who were isolated and treated very poorly, as they were considered dirty and impure. People could not change their caste, and they generally did not interact with people from other castes. We consider this to be a revolution, because its implementation was a major change for India's social structure, and it became much more rigid than the typical social class hierarchy of other cultures.
Mongols, led by Genghis Khan, conquered land like no other empire ever seen. Their territory stretched from Central Europe to the Sea of Japan and northwards into Siberia, as well as southwards to the Indian subcontinent. As they took land, they implemented their own system of government into the people and made great changes. They allowed free trade of goods, technologies, ideas, and commodities throughout the entire empire. One of the Mongols' greatest achievements was conquering China. While Genghis didn't live long enough to see this, his descendant Kublai Khan did. The revolution was the biggest in history, because no other empire ruled as much land as the Mongols did. Alexander the Great was a crucial military mastermind of ancient Greece. At the young age of 20, he assembled Macedonian and Greek soldiers to form an army. He and his army revolutionized the city of Thebes in one way, by completely destroying it. This was a warning to other Greek cities as to the power that Alexander held. He eventually also conquered practically all of what was the civilized world during that time. He revolutionized many city-states by conquering and destroying them and forcing them to do as he says. Roman Revolution. The Roman Empire started out as a republic government that was said to be perfectly balanced. They had a fitting mixture of monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy within it. As the Roman Republic grew, the gap between the rich and the poor widened, and this led to many problems for the people. In an attempt to fix this problem, a strong military leader, Julius Caesar, took control of Rome, along with Crassus, a wealthy Roman, and Pompey, a popular general. These 3 men led Rome as a triumvirate for a while Caesar wanted to be absolute ruler and took control with his army. At this time, the Republic was still in place, but was completely destroyed after Caesar's death, and Octavian, also known as Augustus, took over. Since Octavian was in the bloodline of Caesar, this made Rome an official empire and completed the Roman Revolution.
The growth and spread of Islam was revolutionary in that it united millions of people under what would later become the world's largest religion. What was so influential about Islamic religion was that it completely changed society and its culture. Islam promoted equality and peace within society. Therefore, women began to have more rights. Also, its peaceful nature meant that Muslim societies were safe for other civilizations to trade with. This safe trade promoted the spread of the religion as well as many new ideas, such as improvements in math and sciences. Islam also introduced social services such as postal systems and almsgiving, which is a near equivalent to modern-day welfare.
In the early Americas, a scientific revolution occurred. Though it's not generally labeled as a revolution, the progress that various American cultures made in scientific knowledge and technology hugely impacted their lives. For example, the study of astronomy, the Mochi irrigation system, and the Inca record-keeping method of quipu all were revolutionary advancements. Perhaps the most impressive American innovation was the calendar. The Maya in Central America developed 2 calendars. One was a religious calendar and consisted of 13 20-day months. The other was a solar calendar and was made up of 365 days, like our current system. These 2 worked together so that any particular day could be identified in either cycle. This system allowed the Maya to choose the best times for planting crops, as well as attacking enemies and crowning new rulers.
The Mongolian army was one of the first to have such extremely skilled archers. They had outstanding obedience and discipline that other armies could not match. The fact that they could be riding a horse with a bow and accurately shoot an enemy from over 200 yards away revolutionized other armies' battle tactics. They had to take into account the fact that they were not safe even from a very long distance of 200 yards. The accuracy, force, and reach of the Mongolian army's weapons was unmatched at that time.
The Indian Ocean trade routes brought about a gradual revolution in lifestyles and culture. Because there were so many different cities where trading was popular, people from all over the world would intermix at these trading spots. The spread of people, goods, food, and ideas along the trade routes created an unprecedented level of cultural diversity.